So my next guest is our first musician on the show. I'm excited to talk to him. Not only is he one of the most creative rappers out there, pretty successful online, he's got a show called Thrift Haul. Please welcome Houston's native son, Fat Tony.
Yay!
Man, that just feels cool to say.
What's up?
It's just nice to have someone with a cool name on.
Hey, man, somebody had to do it. You had to have a fat motherfucker on here sooner or later.
So for people that are not familiar with you and they don't know your stuff, I'm interested in how musicians start out. Because I think for comedians, you're usually talking to friends and then they tell you that, hey, you should do this. But how did you start? What was the moment that made you want to pursue music?
Well, I decided to start at probably the worst time possible to link up with my friends. It was the summertime in high school, my sophomore year of high school. I decided, you know what? I'm going to put on a punk show. I found this band from New Jersey called the Ergs. I emailed them and I said, hey, I see y'all on tour, but y'all aren't playing Houston. Let me book your Houston show. They said yes. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I had never been to a concert. I had gotten one flyer in my life from a kid before, but I figured it's like the movies. You go to Kinko's, you make a flyer, Xerox it. I found my student directory. I mailed the flyer out to like 100 kids. 5 kids showed
Physical
up.
mail, like actual
Physical mail.
sticking stamps,
Yes.
putting it in the mail.
Licking the fuck out of them too. Licking the fuck out of every one of them stamps.
This whole envelope soaking wet.
5 kids came to the show, but that was really my start. And from there, I kept putting on shows and started making music and just kind of like diving right into it.
That's so cool because it's not like you just there's 2 types of hustle where you're just bothering people to get on their show. And then it sounds like what you did is you made your own thing. You're like, here's a venue, which a lot of people don't want to do that heavy lifting. They think it's just going to happen.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know better because I didn't know anybody else putting on shows. I'm a teenager and I was really into like 80s punk music, and I was really into this band Minor Threat, and I saw them and I was like, yo, these kids are about my age and they're putting on shows, they're putting out their own records, you know what I mean? I'm like, why can't I do that for me and my friends, whether we're a punk band or not? So I just kind of thought that that's what you do in music until later. But it worked out because I learned all these different roles before I met the people who could actually do them.
Yeah, it also helps not getting fucked over in the future because, like, no, I know what it costs. I know how much drink tickets are going out. I know what the door cut is.
True. True.
You just have more agency over your career.
I remember I got like $300 at a show and I was losing my mind.
Insane.
I was like, yo, let's go to Wendy's. Let's do it all.
$300 is the most amount of no money.
Oh, certainly.
But performing, just getting that first thing where like you're not paying to perform, it's the most amount of money you'll ever have. Of like, wow, you get a check.
I'm
for
16.
20 grand, right?
I'm 16 years old with $300. I'm a fucking baller.
What is the Wendy's order? You go in with 3.
Me. I was the type of guy back then who I'd buy everybody's shit. Like me and my whole crew, I'm buying everybody's food.
Yeah.
My personal go-to, just the fries and a Frosty. Dip that motherfucker in. That's all you need. You don't even need to look at the chicken nuggets and burger and all that shit's garbage.
Square burgers, get out of here. Frosty, getting Frosty bottle service at Wendy's. Corner booth. 300. Yeah, that money goes quick, but that was the first money is pretty like the incentive to like, okay, keep going. This can work out. Now, is that something you carry over to this day, is to start really carving out your own lane and making your own opportunities? Even as you get more success, do you still feel that urge today?
Definitely, because I think that, like, you know, I feel like in any creative business, people want to work with their friends, right? So no matter who your agents are, your label is, whatever, it really is about the person to person. I get more shit popping by just talking to people, befriending people, you know, and not just artists, but anybody that could work in music or in show business. And a lot of times, some of my best work happens like that. Like with Thrift Haul, that was just a friend who I was introduced to through another friend, and we just hit it off. You know, it wasn't like me going around shopping or looking for an opportunity. It just kind of happened naturally. And those are the best ones.
That is a cool show we should talk about. So Thrift Haul, you would have, and correct me if I'm wrong, you'd bring on musicians like Billie Eilish was on one, actors Rosario Dawson, and they basically, it's like a competitive thrift store show where you got to come up with basically the freshest outfit.
You know, something that's fun, like I wanted it to be, once we got the show, right, which is hard enough to get something out there, even a web series, right? Once we got it going, it was just like, let me just holler at people I know and people I kind of know and just see what happens. Like Billie Eilish, total whim. I was at my friend's studio. Coco and Billie Eilish happened to be there. I was talking to Coco's manager, asking about having him on the program. And she was like, yo, let me text him. Oh, he just texts back. Yo, he's down to do it, but can Billie Eilish come too? I'm like,
yeah, absolutely.
Of course. But that's how many of the bookings went on that show. It was like hitting up a person, them wanting to bring their friend on. Because the concept is so loose. And it's the kind of show where you can just lean back and have fun. And in a way that's kind of different than like a normal interview or even playing a real game show. Like the stakes were fucking low. We were just there being silly.
You're shopping for clothes that people have probably died in.
Yes.
Stakes couldn't be lower.
We actually filmed it in a Goodwill while people were shopping. So it was like
the Goodwill crowd is not like a Macy's crowd. They almost don't give a shit. If anything, they're just like, get out of the way. It's a little more hostile because there's not another item out there. So people go through racks so fast in the Goodwill.
No one cared that we were. No, seriously. Nobody gave a fuck about us. People would like yell at us. Customers would be like, can you get out the way? We're like thinking like, oh, they're going to bug out our talent. Nobody cared. We're in LA. Nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck. Hey, do you think the show could come back now in a post-pandemic? You think people would be sketched out now in the world where people are like, I don't know about these clothes. Why are these clothes free?
We're gonna really have to sanitize it for the future episodes. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to do a totally different approach.
this shirt you're wearing, this is a thrift find?
Oh yes, this is definitely a thrift find. 1996 Tori Amos shirt, recovering Christian.
Yeah.
So you can get a good look at this bad
boy.
It's
royalty free font. It's great.
But unfortunately, this is one of those expensive ass vintage t-shirts. This ain't no Goodwill find. You know what I mean?
Okay. But is this the favorite vintage item?
Definitely, hands down. Because it's just like, it's the kind of shirt that has never gotten old for me. Walking around with recovering Christian Biggest Day. Get some good looks, spark some good conversations. You know what I mean?
You cut through all the bullshit right away. There's no, the weather's weird today. I want to know you. What happened that you're advertising your recovery? This is my favorite thrift find. I got two in preparation for this. A terrible shirt.
Okay, that is very awful.
We have a polka dot shirt, and then probably this, something I wear all the time. It's like a motocross jacket. And favorite thrift find because on it, it's got a real story because it's Barb. So it's a woman's jacket because that's my frame. And it says, not the mama.
Wow.
So
that is fucking ill.
Whoever Barb was really wanted to get it out there that she was not the mama.
It's like some Billie Jean shit, man. It ain't her. It ain't her kid. Don't leave the responsibilities on her.
This is what you can't find at ASOS. A vendetta in a jacket.
Now that I think about it, there's a lot of moms out there taking some shit they don't need.
Yeah.
And I think we need to franchise Not the Mama into a brand. I'm on my business shit, Moses. You and I need to do this.
Okay, I like this. For moms that are tired of playing the mom roles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it can be more like a dad where they leave at 6 a.m, don't come back till 8:42 at night, and you're not allowed to ask questions where they were.
That's the kind of father I've always wanted to be. That's the kind of father I plan to be, and I hope I inspire my wife to become one of those not the mamas.
These desert shows you've been doing are pretty cool. You've been performing in the desert because it's the only option, essentially. It's the only safe way.
I don't wonder why. I just wake up and I wipe the crust from my eye. She just wake up, hope to get the kid to school on time.
It's easy. No one's there. You know, and when I first did it, I was thinking, yo, are people or like neighbors, houses, somewhere around here gonna be tripping? Nobody gave a fuck. It's just me. The nearest house is like miles and miles away.
Yeah. So you just go there and you set up, like there's no permission needed or permits. You just find a spot.
Exactly. But it's all wireless. We got in-ears, you know. It's very little. And we just make it work. No one cares. Just find an empty spot. I mean, I feel like the worst thing I got to worry about is like somebody running up on us, maybe trying to rob us, fuck with us. You know what I mean?
I think it's Joshua Tree, so it's like where white people go to feel spiritual. So you might get some dudes that look like me on shrooms, very confused, and think that you are an hallucination.
Wearing big hats. Like you can't forget the big hats.
Oh, the giant hat that fills in all the gaps you don't have in your personality. Ask me about my hat, because everything else in my life has been pretty easy. I think that's all you got to worry about is people coming down from ayahuasca, coming out of their Airbnb, tripping. You
know what? I might be right there with them. We were very tempted to take mushrooms doing this because we're in the desert, and typically that's what we're going to do if we're out there anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the first time I went to Joshua Tree, I was like, I don't get this shit at all. And then went for Eric Andre's birthday where mushrooms are on the menu. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I get it. It's
not a drug-free place, you know, even the locals.
Yeah. Joshua Tree's not beautiful. Drugs is, I think, the message I'm trying to put out for this show to get us demonetized. This is great talking to you. I can't believe we're already out of time. You got to come back because there's so much to talk about. And if you're down, you should do a song on the show sometime. We'll find a way to set it up.
I would love to come sing.
That would be great. We'll do it.
I got shit here, as you can see.
We have keyboards and we got boots, baby.
That's right. I'm a fucking Texan.
Get them boots. Okay, man, this is great. So where people can check you out, I think across social media, it's Fat Tony Rap.
Get on Spotify. Listen to the new Fat Tony album, Exotica. Check out the Gambling Man Mariachi remix because it's lush and beautiful. And hit me up on Instagram and shit. I'm everywhere.
Fat Tony, everyone. This is great, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Love ya.
Bye.